So when does money when will money work as to address attraction and retention, and when will money stop working to address talent attraction and retention? I'm going to caveat this by saying there is no clear cutoff and threshold, but I want to introduce the topic of diminishing returns, because at a certain point, as our lifestyle needs are met, money has a lower impact, lower influence on whether or not it is going to be a significant motivator. Now, more money is always going to be good. People are always, if you ask people if they want more money, they will say yes. Right. If you ask somebody, are you motivated by getting more money? They will say yes, because money determines how well we can engage in society. Our entire society is built around consumption. Being able to engage in society means that you need to be able to spend money on things beyond just the basics, right? If you are struggling to meet your needs, your basic fundamental needs of, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make rent this month. I don't know if I'm going to be able to put food on the table this week. I don't know if do I have to choose between paying my power bill and paying my grocery bill? Can I go without cable so that I can keep my children fed? Right? If that's and that unfortunately is a reality for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. And if that's the demographic that you employ, money is going to be a significant motivator, because as people are able to, if people are not currently able to meet their needs, the influence that money has as a motivational factor is going to be significant, because they need to feed themselves, they need to clothe themselves, they need to provide safety and security for them and their family. It will have a significant influence primarily on attraction. It works with retention as well, but money's really good for getting people's attention and getting them to pay attention to your what you're offering them. But once we kind of meet those essential needs, and we move from essential wages or essential income to actually having disposable income, then there starts to become a diminishing return on how effective money is as the sole motivator or as the primary motivator.
Yeah, and I think this is kind of the crux of why it's so important to explore this relationship between wages and compensation with talent attraction and retention, because when it comes to, because you're right, when it comes to levels of wages that are below or kind of around what is needed to provide basic levels of comfort and quality of life, that wages and compensation is vital, if not the single most important influencer on people. Because the reality is, it is really expensive to be broke, right?
Yeah.
So you and I used to work with in the nonprofit sector, and we worked a lot with people kind of who were lower income, and especially when I was in community education, I worked with everybody. And you see people that are low income when it comes to things like dental care, right? They can't afford the basic maintenance to kind of keep their teeth clean, so they end up prolonging going to see the dentist, which causes really expensive like removals and canals and problems, because they can't afford the regular maintenance.
And a lot of additional health problems as well.
Absolutely. Cars are the same way. Transportation insecurity, right? So they can't afford a car that's not going to break down on them all the time. So so they can't afford monthly payments. So they buy something that's cheap that they try and keep going, but then that causes them to be inconsistent with transportation, and they have to try and pay for expensive repairs. So it's one of those things where it is really expensive to be broke, and there's just no way around it.
It is. And I also want to flip this on the employer side, because it's really expensive to pay poverty wages, because you're causing a lot of your own headaches. You're
Yeah,
causing more
yeah.
problems with absenteeism. You're causing more problems with dissatisfaction, with burnout, with all of these workforce issues. If people are not able to focus on the work that you have, that you need them to perform because they don't know if they can feed themselves and their family, you are causing a lot of your own problems.
Yeah, you're right, because there's something that businesses need to understand when they employ the working poor, right? Because when you employ people that are around the poverty line, or don't have around, again, the wages to provide them the basic level of comfort and quality of life, you're right. It comes with higher health issues, kind of like we said about the dentist thing. They're less likely to seek medical attention
Mhm.
on stuff because they can't afford the prescription. So it ends up prolonging issues that become worse. They have childcare insecurities, right? Because they can't afford standardized childcare, so they often mishmash between babysitters, friends, family, grandma, which makes them often miss time when illness happens. They have more transportation barriers
Yeah.
because they are reliant on a bus that might break down or in unreliable cars. So when you employ people that are that with low wages, and they're trying to live on low wages, that comes with a whole host of problems that are likely your biggest pain points. Are people being unreliable? Are people missing a lot of time? Are people, leaving for health issues or burnout, like you said? Because the condition because the what you're providing them doesn't give them the comfort or quality of life that they need to take care of themselves in the way that you want them to be reliable employees. And it's a really important
Yeah.
thing for people to be aware of.